What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm really loving the bed setup, the little sit down chit chats that I get to do on my bed with you guys. And today I'm going to be talking about my top five mom regrets that I had, in the past 16 months. So I've been a mom for 16 months, and hindsight is 2020. And when I think back on some of the things that I allowed to happen or some of the things that I did, I'm like, girl, why did you do that? So if you're new around here, welcome to my channel. Consider subscribing, and please do remember to give this video a thumbs up. So mom regret number one is not setting boundaries with family members soon enough. As a recovering people pleaser, that's what I like to call myself, because I think the work of setting boundaries with someone or not being uncomfortable with setting boundaries is a lifelong thing, as someone who grew up being groomed to be a people pleaser. And so I let this filter down into my motherhood journey as early as me being pregnant, as early as my pregnancy. Not even when the child was here, I was getting comments like, why are you going to all of your appointments to the doctor? Why are you finding out the gender of your child? And instead of saying, thank you for your advice, but I did not ask for it, or if I need advice, I will ask for it, I kept quiet. I sort of, that awkward chuckle, and then it filtered down into people phoning me or thinking they can phone me whenever they please. Mind you, I had a newborn at this time. And instead of saying to people, hi, can you please let me know in advance when you'd like to call, because I'm not always available. I took the calls, you guys. I took the calls while I was breastfeeding. I took the calls while I was changing a nappy, literally, because I wanted people to not feel left out of life with my newborn, because we were in lockdown and they felt like they deserved access to my child. So please set boundaries with people. One of the biggest boundaries, in fact, that I did set, which I'm so proud of myself, is I did not want any visitors at the hospital. This ruffled a few feathers, but looking back, I am so glad that I said to people that I'm not too keen on seeing you at the hospital. We will let you know once we're home and once we're ready to accept visitors. Mom regret number two is doing the antenatal class at the clinic. So they advise all new parents that, take an antenatal class. I think if you're with a certain medical aid in South Africa, you get certain points for their little program that they're running, and it's just advised. And so we took this class at the clinic where I gave birth. But you guys, when I tell you it was a 2-day long class, so a Saturday and a Sunday that I could have spent sleeping, but I spent it at this class. I was like from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m, a full-on class. Those were the things that I saw in that class were things that I could have Googled, were things that certain Instagram pages that I follow give way more information about, they give way more resources about. And I honestly feel like there are better antenatal classes that people offer as an online course. I know Ella offers one. I will link her Instagram handle down below. And I think C-Section Strong also offers some. And I did look at them beforehand, but I just thought, maybe it's best if we have an in-person class. But I feel like that whole weekend we could have spent in bed watching an online course. It cost $1,400 or between $1,500 for this class. And I feel like the courses that I've seen also cost about $100, which is about 1,500 or 1,400 rand. So my advice to you is that before you do an antenatal class, look at your options, weigh out your options, find other people that have done the class beforehand if you can, if it's possible for you to do that. And just go on Instagram. Instagram is like a world of resources. Other than pretty looking pictures and nice looking feeds that are cohesive, I have found Instagram to just be one of the best places to do research. And I've also found a lot of resources and a lot of courses on there. Mom regret number 3 is not setting up a meal train for postpartum. So I could have set up a meal train. I could have also prepared meals beforehand and frozen them so that once we are home, we've got at least like a week's worth of food to, you know, just pull out the freezer, defrost, warm up and eat. Because that first week is just, it's hectic. It is relentless. And other than prepping meals, I could have actually prepped the meals for, let's say, a week and also set up a meal train. So that would mean that we've got at least 2 weeks worth of meals that are sorted out. But I didn't do this. I'm not sure why. It never crossed my mind, but this definitely, you know, made us struggle. We struggled because of this. Because I was struggling with the baby, and then Simpiwe was the one that was left to cook, which he's a great cook, no doubts about that. But I think that it would have been, you know, a load off our shoulders if none of us had to cook and I had somebody there to support me in the breastfeeding, as much as he cannot breastfeed, but just to have him there and help me when I needed help would have been great. Mom regret number 4 is listening to other people's opinions on how I should parent my child. I think this ties back into not setting boundaries, because it's the advice I was getting was just a lot, until I eventually was like, you know what, no. But I didn't do that soon enough, which ties back to not setting boundaries soon enough. The thing about, once again, it started before the child was even born. Why are you giving birth at a clinic, not a hospital? If your child is, because once Zion started to crawl, obviously he was touching everything. You should give him a snack. No, honey, we do not use violence to resolve conflict in this household. I'll get into another video about all of that, about gentle parenting. He should go to school. He shouldn't go to school. Why do you have a helper? You shouldn't have a helper. Make it stop. Listening to other people's opinions about how I should parent my child is a no. Everybody that is giving me advice about how I should parent my child is obviously a parent, and their kids are older. Their kids are probably my age and older. But honey boo boo, you had an opportunity to parent your child, and unfortunately my child is not the second opportunity at parenthood. You had your chance. If you messed it up, I'm so sorry. I hope your kids are going to therapy, but my child is not a second opportunity at parenthood. Regret number 5 is not spending enough time career planning before having my child. Now, if you don't know what I do for a living, I do many things. I am securing all the bags, and I'm very grateful that I get to do what I do. One of the things that I do honestly is this. It is YouTube. I get ad revenue from this channel, and then I have another channel which I will link in the description box below. It is a baking channel that is linked to my baking business. So I've got the channel where I show you how to make different baked goods, but I also sell actual cakes to my customers in Johannesburg. I do that, and then recently I became a personal trainer as of February this year, and as of the 1st of March I released my first program that you can purchase in the link in the description box. So it's an 8-week at-home guide that you can do at your own pace, and yeah. So those are the different things that I do to bring in income, but I feel as though had I had all of these things set up before having a child, it would have been much better. I would have less stress. Had I set up my online store before having a child, had I created my at-home workout guide, had I had other products that I sold, whether digital or physical products, on my website beforehand, I would have systems running in the back that would be bringing in money while I was sleeping, or while I was awake at 2 a.m. in the morning breastfeeding, or while I was sleeping when the baby slept, you know. But all of these things that I've got set up now are things that I did after the child arrived. So if you are planning on having a child, make sure that you've got, if you work a 9 to 5, make sure that you've got enough maternity leave pay if you're not happy with how much maternity leave payment you're going to be getting every month, make sure that you've got a supplementary income coming in when you're sleeping, when you're breastfeeding, when you're sleeping again. You know, so that you're not running off to the Department of Labor to argue or find out what is happening with your maternity leave payments. That is daunting. I didn't experience that myself, but I've had friends that have spoken to me about how annoying it is to be dealing with the Department of Labor. Some of them, their kids are 3 years old and they still did not see a cent from the Department of Labor for their maternity leave pay. So not putting enough time into career planning really was detrimental to my health mentally, because I was stressing about, am I going to get more clients for cakes? Am I going to get enough sales for my cakes? And you know, and also made me go back to work earlier. I started working 6 weeks into my maternity leave, which would have been nice for me to take a whole 3 or 4 months off not doing anything, but knowing that my workout guides are selling themselves, or just knowing that I've got products that the only thing I have to do is pack them and give them to the courier guy and they will be distributed. Like, that would be less stressful than setting up the shop, creating the products, blah 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 blah. So that's my last and final thing, and I think that's the most important thing that I've learned in this journey. That is my biggest regret, in fact. And that brings me to the conclusion of this video. So if you're a mom and you have any regrets, please share them in the comments. There will be no judgment, of course. This is a safe space, but I would just like to hear other people's opinions about the regrets that they have in the first year or in the first year and a half of them being a mom. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do remember to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. It really goes a long way and I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in Saturday's video, which is going to be bomb.com. I'm so excited. Okay, bye bye.